Welcome to the Great Indoors, coming to you once again from the energy, ambition, and unmistakable buzz of MWC Barcelona 2026. This is episode 8, 2 more to go. Anyway, I'm your host, Matthew Roberts, and as always, I'm joined by my trusty producer, the one and only Larissa Yee. So what do we have in store for you today? Now, if there's one theme that continues to surface here in Barcelona, it's this: in an age where connectivity is abundant, experience is the true differentiator. And nowhere is that more evident than in the rapidly evolving world of MVNOs, mobile virtual network operators. Because while the MVNO market is expanding at pace, fueled by niche propositions and brand-led disruption, the reality beneath the surface is far more complex. Launching and scaling an MVNO isn't a single act. It's a journey, one that has hundreds of interconnected steps, from onboarding to billing, from customer experience to marketing to continuous innovation. And that's where today's conversation comes into focus. We're exploring the partnership between Amdocs and MVNX, two organizations coming together to simplify that complexity, accelerate time to market, and ultimately enable a new generation of MVNOs to thrive. So let me introduce our guest and our Amdocs co-host. First, I'm joined by Andy Hopkins, CTO of MVNX, and Andy is right at the heart of enabling the MVNO ecosystem, focused on simplifying the customer journey and stitching together the critical components that allow operators to launch quickly, scale efficiently, and deliver a seamless experience from day one. And alongside Andy, I'm joined by Mr. Mark Prudhoe from Amdocs. Now, Mark leads business development for Amdocs' SaaS portfolio in the United States, including platforms like ConnectX and eSIM. He's focused on bringing cloud-native multi-tenant capabilities to the market, helping operators and MVNOs deploy faster, reduce complexity, and unlock new growth through a scalable digital foundation. So from AI-first platforms to real-world application, from ecosystem orchestration to commercial execution, this is a conversation about how you turn capability into impact. So let's go. So welcome back to the Great Indoors at Barcelona MWC 2026. Season 12 even continues. We're going to get into a great discussion now. I'm joined by Andy Hopkins, who's the CTO of MVNX Link, and also Mr. Mark Prudhoe from Amdocs. Welcome. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Now, we're going to get into it, but before we do, let's do some introductions. So, you want to go first, Andy?
Sure. My name is Andy Hopkins. Pleasure being the CTO for MVNX Link. We are a partner of Amdocs and help bring billing and transaction systems to life for MVNOs and MVNEs.
Okay, excellent. And you're based in Boston, right?
Based in Boston.
We're going to get into that in a little while. And Mark, maybe you want to, this is your first time behind the wheel. Maybe you want to give a quick introduction of yourself.
Sure. So my name is Mark Prudhoe. I'm responsible for the business development of our SaaS-based solutions in the US. That's ConnectX, Market One, and eSIM. Okay. So it's great to be here.
Cool. So let's get into it. So tell me a little bit about MVNX Link, Andy. What's the essence of the business? What makes it different? What's the differentiating factor?
MVNX Link, we entered into the business to provide financing solutions into this space. But what we quickly found out was that the customer journey is so incredibly important to the success for anybody that participates in it. And so a collection of us got together and we pulled our collective experiences and said, we're going to make a system that allows customers to have a pleasant journey in what seems like an easy thing, but as you get into the detail of it, has hundreds of steps to be successful.
And it's the steps in financing the venture,
It's all the way through, right? It's
okay.
Whether you're a brand new customer walking in and signing up for service for the first time and going through that experience, or whether you're a customer that wants to upgrade or top up if you're in the prepaid space, or switching between prepaid and postpaid. There's just so much complexity that people take for granted, and we're trying to make those journeys better.
Okay, cool. And how does Amdocs play a part in that journey, Mark?
Well, it's actually quite an interesting story. So initially, I met Andy through another MVNO that we have on our platform, which is like Kital Mobile. And what we actually found was there was so much synergy, because if you become an MVNO, you have the ConnectX technology, which is a SaaS multi-tenant platform. Yeah. Actually, if you do it for yourself, you could do it for others. And that's where MVNX Link came in. They realized that they could fill this space by bringing all of the capabilities that they needed, make them enabled for other providers, so other MVNOs, yeah. And that's kind of how we got together. So we became partners in that respect, which is great for us because they have connectivity to all three networks in the US.
Wow. And talk about the customization layer that you put on top, Andy. Talk a little about what that means and what problem you were trying to address there.
The challenge that everyone has, everybody wants to own everything. And the reality is that's almost impossible for any organization. So our look at the industry is Amdocs does a certain number of things outstanding. We need to not try to change those things. We need to focus on where are the gaps, or how do we take that experience and then take it to the end state. Yeah. And so our focus has been on things like interconnectivity to other partners, or focusing on gaps in the journey that Amdocs hasn't focused on yet. The other thing that a lot of customers don't think about when they do it is Amdocs comes with hundreds and hundreds of features. And when they launch, it's an overwhelming thing for many of the people to launch. So trying to simplify the system such that people can get live, get revenue flowing, that's the key. Yeah. And once they get revenue flowing, then they can start working on other parts of the solution.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, no conversation is complete these days in any walk of life without talking about AI. How's AI playing into your thinking and how you're operating on even the end proposition that you're offering in?
Sure. So it starts with a foundation, right? Amdocs is committed to an AI forward platform. So we take that leverage that we can have. We built a universal bus completely out of AI methodology in our development methodology, our testing methodology, our compliance. Yeah. And that universal bus creates the tools that we need to do the interconnectivity. And then with those two foundations, we can then tack specific problems, whether it be an AI chatbot for customer service, or there be something in marketing, or RCS texting, which is new coming up market. So it's really trying to build it in as a foundation block, but then apply it in ways that are actually usable today. I think that's the mistake a lot of people make with AI today. They want to be AI, but they don't know what business case they're solving.
Yeah. Okay. And do you want to add to that, Mark, in regards to the Amdocs portfolio and services?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Andy said the key word, which was foundation. One of the things that we realized, yes, you can have great experiences like, agentic agents that handle things with customers. But what we felt initially we should focus on is that foundation, like enabling our customers, like our MVNOs or MVNEs first. Like, for example, we've got an agentic agent that will actually create your tenant. It will spin up your MVNO. It will create the initial brand of your mobile app, the initial brand of your web self-care. Yeah. With like cookie cutter products, okay, you'd still have to put your branded products on there. But can you imagine that experience from the first sales conversation, and they're an MVNE, so then enable MVNOs, you can actually provide them with a working platform. You're only missing pieces, the connectivity agreement, which they also have, so it complements it end to end.
Awesome. Now, how long has this partnership been in existence? Sort of formally?
We're going on our second year.
You're going on second year.
It's great. I mean, there are so many new learnings. I tell them one of the things I look forward to every month is the new release package that comes from Amdocs. It just opens up more and more possibilities.
Okay. Cool.
I want to say something if that's okay, right? So what we've done in with ConnectX, because like I say, we're true SaaS, it's a product, right? We don't really have customizations. We roll out features every 30 days. So what we've done is we've created like a community where we invite our customers. I think we did a call last week, 103 people on the call. And they're giving us feedback like, why does that feature work that way? Maybe you should improve this, that, and that. And we listen and we roll that into the product. They really are customer and product led.
So look at the partnership a year from now, what would be your perfect vista of that?
Yeah, I think there's three fronts. Mark and I have been spending a lot of time here at the show talking about the need to simplify launch, to get MVNOs up quicker and for less money, right? Because those are two scarce commodities, time and money. So I think that's one focus. We'll continue to do that to open up Amdocs to a broader range of customers. I think the second area is scaling, right? With AI tools and all, we have the ability to scale almost infinitely now. And so it's starting to help people push through those barriers, be confident that they have the foundation block. And then the third one is the robust feature set. I think what separates is as Amdocs continues to develop at the speed they're developing, the number and richness of those feature sets, now we have to get the adoption to be able to absorb them.
Yeah. And it's a global partnership, right?
That's correct.
And, the MVNO world has really taken off the last couple of years, and it's been something at this show. We've had various MVNO partners or customers of ours come on, and we've talked about what makes them unique and the target market that they're after. Where do you see that market heading now? What are the big trends? Is it still firing on all cylinders? Where are you seeing, even geographically, a lot of the things happen?
And maybe I'd tell a little bit about the story of Quetal, and it's a good example of how it works. So Quetal is a Spanish first MVNO. Their target market was in the south and most eastern side of the United States to provide solutions, especially people who had relatives abroad that they wanted to converse with. But what quickly happens there is then what about the other side? Now you have their relatives that want to have a solution. And naturally, because of the Spanish connection, you start getting the foreign interests and all. So with most MVNOs, they start with a very narrow niche, but their customers start to drag those edges out. We want to enable those edges so that they're not as painful to break through. If you want to go international, that's not a hard thing. And we do that by connecting additional partners.
That's a really good story. Now, here we are at MWC again. We're only into day 2. What have you seen so far that has interested you or surprised you, and how could that have an effect on your business or business model?
Yeah, so first and foremost, AI is everything, right? Everything here is AI based. And, I think people need to strip off the layer of what they're going to use AI for and not just buy it because it is a thing where everyone says, I have to have it, right? What's it actually solving for you? I think you're also going to see the breakdown of the device that we carry with us and our life blending more. So whether it's content, we have a number of meetings to talk about content providers, robots, IoT devices mixing in with our life. If you look at the average household, I'm from the United States, so the average household in the United States, they probably have 10 to 15 connected devices. So it's no longer just about enabling that cell phone anymore. It's a much broader application.
No, I had the CMO of Qualcomm, Don McGuire, on yesterday, and they just launched their 6G story yesterday. And I said, well, tell me the story. And it was very much in line with that. As far as the manifestation of physical AI now, 6G was the first AI native iteration of evolution. And therefore, what we discussed was there's going to be even more, not just connected devices, which we were promised by 5G, but more connected AI-infused devices, whether it's, to your point, robotics, which we see tons of. I think there's an AI hairdryer over there on the Honor stand, but it was almost, we came to the conclusion that, MWC used to be about handsets. You came to the conclusion that it's gone full, hardware could be coming back, because of this next. Anyway, it's something interesting I wanted to share with you. What are your thoughts, Mark?
Look, like Andy said, and you said yourself also, AI is changing everything. So to me, it's about what new experience that brings.
Yeah.
I could tell you a bit personally, about myself. I do a lot of meditation. I try and kind of balance my life. And one of the things that I've kind of discovered through that process is there is AI technology that actually can help you with that. Imagine monitoring your brainwave, and then being able to react to that. Can you imagine if we did that from a telco perspective? By listening to the customer, by being able to read, use AI, their emotion. Maybe it's not the right time to offer something, or maybe it's the right time to ask, are you okay? All these different cultural things that will, I think, allow us to tap into, which are new use cases we haven't even thought of yet. And that's what excites me, where it's the new use case and where it's going to take us.
And to echo your point, what Don said to me, because he had his Ray-Ban glasses, he said, so the next iteration of these glasses, they will automatically, using AI, adjust to my prescription. So
oh wow, that's great.
That's amazing, right? So you don't even have to go to the optometrist anymore. You buy your AI glasses and it will adapt to your eye condition. And he said they're working on that right now. That's one of the use cases for.
Well, when they can see through walls, let me know.
I think, Anyway, it's been really great. Before we go, and I've really enjoyed having you on the show, Andy and Mark. We finish with our quick fire TGI to go round, and this is just a nice way to end. It's a bit of fun. And so our listeners can get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to give you two choices. You give me your choice, your preference, and then we'll find out why that's the case. So TGI to go. Here we go. TGI to go. Question number one first, Andy. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Do you have a dog? I've asked this question so far, we're only in day 2, 10 times. Every single person has said dog, which is good.
Mine's best friend.
Yeah? So you're a dog dad?
I'm a dog person.
I have both, but I still put dog.
Yeah, there you go. So the dogs are winning, right, in this week, quite clearly. Now, you're going out for a drink tonight. We're in Barcelona. Would you choose Carver or Sangria?
Carver.
Yeah?
Sangria, without a doubt.
Have you had any Sangria? Yeah.
Not so far, no. Maybe tonight.
Not in the last hour.
You saw me at the bar, right?
So first question back to Mark. Cricket or football?
Oh, football. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Soccer, I guess.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah. And I think I know what your soccer team is.
Have a guess.
Sunderland.
You can edit that out. Where's your sound effects?
Now, I don't think that question's fair to you because they're neither American sports. And we were talking about the Boston sports team before. So I'll say hockey or baseball.
I have to go hockey.
Yeah? Bruins. Yeah.
Bruins, all the way.
Yeah. Now, and I told you the story before. My son plays in a house hockey league. His team is the Bruins, and that has bled through to his NHL following now. So he's a big Bruins fan.
All about branding, isn't it?
Yeah. But going back to connecting it now to the soccer, I'm a Liverpool supporter, and
how's Isak doing?
I don't know. Well, he's doing all right, I think. But I think the interesting connection here is you could see Liverpool as the Boston soccer team in the Premier League because of the Fenway Sports Group and John Henry, right?
Shall I tell you an interesting story about Liverpool?
Yeah,
my name is Mark Prudhoe, right?
Yeah.
My cousin played for Liverpool as a goalkeeper. His name is Mark Prudhoe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. What is he? In what year is he born?
Oh, this was in the 80s, I think. I think he has the world record for the most transfers in 1 year.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Where did he end up, though?
I think Darlington in the end.
Oh, interesting. We'll talk about that more afterwards. That's pretty good. First question, next one to Andy. Are you an Instagram guy or a TikTok guy?
Instagram.
Yeah?
Yeah, Instagram.
That's winning massively this week. Maybe it's the demographic.
But yeah, it's definitely the demographic because my daughter tells me Instagram is just 3-month-old TikTok.
Okay, and then the final one today, before we close it out, we'll start with Mark. If you could go somewhere for a vacation right now, and your choices were Iceland or Alaska, where would you choose?
I would go to Alaska.
Have you been before?
Never. I mean, one of my dreams is to see the Northern Lights, so I guess I could see in both places, I guess. But Alaska. You know why? No. Prudhoe Bay. Prudhoe Bay is in Alaska. I'd like to go see it.
There you go.
I'd pick Iceland. Just
that's good, yeah.
Another country not off the list.
You know what? I haven't been to either of them, and I'm just looking at it now, thinking, why is that? But I think I'd go Iceland. I don't know. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. I've really enjoyed the conversation. We had a bit of fun there at the end, which is always nice, and a break from the
the hustle and bustle of the business that we have to go through. Before we close today, let's get some last remarks. Mark, anything you'd like to leave the listeners with before we shut it down today?
Yeah, I would just like to say, one of the things which we wanted to do is to make our platform accessible. So I'm inviting anyone listening, if they want to understand how we've adopted AI to help personalize and enhance the experiences of everybody in the ecosystem, from the sales agent right down to the business implementer. Let's meet, let's have a conversation. Okay. The more you tell us, the more you can enhance the platform.
And where can people find you?
Like in MWC?
No,
in the bar. No, you can find online, mark.prudhoe at amdocs.com.
Well, I just don't want people to get confused with the goalkeeper. I've been sending requests.
Yes, so mine is twofold. One, don't be afraid of change, right? I think a lot of people are overwhelmed when they talk about something of the magnitude of Amdocs platform. It's not as scary as people think. But the second thing is, as the world changes to this AI world, we have to remember not to leave behind all those great customers we established in the past.
Yeah.
These shiny objects are quick to be adopted by new companies, but companies that are well established struggle more with compliance and risk and how to blend the two together. So we have to really figure out how to bring these products to our existing great customers.
Well said, well said. So thank you both, gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your week. I look forward to seeing you again, maybe next year, and we can have a look at everything again and see what's changed.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I know where Newcastle will be a year from now, so we don't need to bring that up again.
In the Champions League.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
So thank you, Andy. Thank you, Mark. It was a wonderful conversation, really great conversation. Always fun to get into sports as well. The Boston sports scene, Newcastle United, can be fun sometimes, I guess. Anyway, I want to thank both of you guys. It was great spending time with you here in Barcelona and speaking with you. Now, if you enjoyed that episode, as I'm sure you did, there's plenty more where that came from. So subscribe, leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Also, visit amdocs.com/The Great Indoors for all our back episodes over the last 6 years. There's a lot there, a lot. It'll get you through a lot of flights. But also, check out our Adaptive Spirit Special Edition. We're at episode 2 now. It's available on your regular podcast outlets and on our webpage. That's some real special conversations we had with the US Paralympic ski team in Vail, Colorado. A lot of content there. Anyway, we have 2 more episodes left in season 12, so join us next week. And until then, I'm Matthew Roberts for Amdocs, still in Barcelona, and have a great day wherever you are.